Hey guys, how is everyone doing? I myself had a little vacation from the channel, but RetroEd tagged me in a video about games you always go back to. He made a top 5 and he tagged me to make a video response, so here it is. I made a little list, so I'm going to improv my way through this. Number 5. The first is actually a series, and it's the 1943 Battle of Midway series. And when I was growing up, I really loved aviation, and my dad always used to take me to the aviation museum. And I like looking at the Zeros, the Spitfires, Mustangs, Messerschmitts, and they all can be found and played with in this shmup. There used to be an arcade of this as well at the museum, so I loved checking it out as a little kid. And one thing I remember is those the animation of those dives the plane would make. But it was a graphically impressive game, and it introduced me to the world of shmups, and I still play it today, all the time, especially the 1945 and the 19XX series. So, number 4, Oblivion. During the spring of this year, I started a new character in Oblivion again. I believe it was an elf archer. And yeah, I just went for another playthrough because Oblivion is one of those games I always go back to. I know there have been better games in the series like Skyrim. There have been games that probably did the RPG elements a little bit better, but for me, it's the atmosphere of this vast and giant world, but also the humor. The NPCs in Oblivion are to die for. They're the most funny NPCs I've seen in a game, and I've never seen anything like it since. If you've played Oblivion a lot, you probably know exactly what I mean, but it's just so broken, and so whenever I play it, I play it for the role-playing experience and the story and stuff, but mainly just to see those NPCs interact with each other or with my character. It's there's bound to be a few laughs. Number 3, I play a lot of racing games actually, and there's one which may sound like a bit of a cliche, but I always go back to Burnout 3. Burnout 3 is the best arcade racer I've ever played, and one of the most important things I can say about it is that the gameplay is very rewarding. So Road Rage is obviously the coolest mode, in which you have to take down as much of your rivals, but when you take down a rival you gain boost, which allows you to, well, better take down the rest of the rivals. It's a very rewarding way of playing a racing game. The next one, Donkey Kong Country. Well, Donkey Kong Country is the platformer I always go back to, and that's mainly because of the atmosphere created by the music. We all know that aquatic level with the beautiful, soothing, relaxing music. It's just a prime example of how unique this game is in atmosphere and how rich it is in atmosphere. Gameplay wise, it's probably still one of the best platformers out there. There's this level that always drives me crazy though, and it's the minecart level, I have to admit. Well, my final game, I really wanted to have a fighter on this list, and I didn't want to go with the cliche Street Fighter 2, so I went with a fighter I actually played a hell of a lot when I was younger on the original PlayStation, and I've been playing it a lot again recently, so well, what the hell, I'm going to put it on this list. And it's Rival Schools. Rival Schools is a fighting game by Capcom, in which you're basically a student from a high school competing with other students from other high schools which have gone, what's the word? I don't know. They've gone nuclear. there's this war between all these different high schools, and the principals are trying to stop them, but there's not a lot to be done. They want to fight each other. A cool mechanic of this game is that you always select 2 fighters, and you can switch between the fighters between the matches. But you use those 2 fighters for special moves and finishing moves, and those finishing moves or special moves look really good. They usually have a sports theme, so you have this soccer player and this baseball player teaming up in these special moves to send someone airborne or something. You have to experience it for yourself, and it's actually a really simple mechanic. It's just pushing 2 buttons and you start that attack. But it was a very unique game in my opinion for that time. The graphics were amazing. It was still 32 bits, not completely polygon based, but yeah, it was just amazing looking and very, very Japanese. I hadn't seen anything like it before, and yeah, I don't hear a lot of people talking about it online. Rival Schools. I can wholeheartedly recommend that game. So that was my top 5. 1943, The Battle of Midway, The Elder Scrolls Oblivion, Burnout 3 Takedown, Donkey Kong Country, and Rival Schools on the PlayStation. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I want to thank RetroEd for tagging me in this video.